Yeah, the Patriots upset the Bills, has all of Buffalo in a panic right now. They sit 4-3 through 7 weeks. Josh Allen said after the game that it's pretty bleak here right now, and that was an honest assessment of the game. What's up with the Bills? Where do they go from here, Kyle? You do not want to go first because you want to listen to all of our thoughts.
I like to listen.
And then you just want to cook it up and then spit it out. What do you got, Jay?
It's tough right now in Buffalo. I look at it, their last 3 games, and you heard McDermott allude to it. They're trying to put their finger on what exactly the issue is. They asked Josh Allen after the game, what's going on with the slow starts? And he said, if I knew, we would be fixing it. So they haven't been able to figure it out. But like yesterday, they were down 10-0 before they knew it. The week before that, they're going against the Giants. They don't score a point in the first half of the game. And then in London, they were down 11-0 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So as you're watching them in their offensive struggles, yes, Josh Allen is a really good football player, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he finds a way to will his team back in the game, and they're always in it at the end. But let's stop spotting the other team points. Let's find a way to get things going early on in the game, and they haven't been able to do that. And we've talked about the Milano injury and everything of that nature. Josh Allen yesterday went down and put them up, and the defense couldn't stop them. And that's typically what you see, whether it's Poyer or Micah Hyde, somebody making a play, and that didn't happen.
It's interesting because the Chiefs put up 400 yards in the air, and Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns, and they're 6-1. And we haven't talked about the Chiefs yet, and a lot of Chiefs fans are tweeting the show. And we hear it. Guys, what about us? What about us? You almost wish the Bills could be one of those teams where it's like, we expect you to do that. Like, that's the standard.
It's not terribly interesting because we're so used to it.
We're so used to it.
Yeah.
It's almost a flattering thing that, like, hey, we
know.
We respect it, but we also understand that there's other more juicier topics. The Chiefs don't have games like the Bills had yesterday. And the Bills have them too often. A couple years ago, I remember it was the Josh Allen versus Josh Allen Bowl before we went to London.
Jags.
Bills Jags. The Jags were terrible. It was Urban Meyer Jags. And the Jaguars like beat the Bills in Jacksonville, and it was when the Bills were rolling, and we were just like, what? Like, what? How did it happen? How does a team so good as with a quarterback so good as Josh? How does that happen? Last year, the Jets were winning a couple games, but Zach Wilson and the Jets just take care of business, handle Josh Allen and beat Josh Allen in a game. And you're
this is when the Bills were one on the power rankings. Like they were the best team in the league.
And Josh Allen's the MVP. We're crowning him, and they lose to the Jets. And Allen, of course, was hurt in this game. We'd find out later it was a Jet shoulder, and it would bother him all season. Yesterday was another one of those games. It bothers him. Patriots are the worst in football going into this thing. 32 out of 32 in power rankings. One of these awful, awful teams that everyone just beats up on. And then they go and they look like they're the greatest team on earth, beating the Bills. And as Sean McDermott was saying, mental mistakes too. Missed field goals are one thing, but penalties and mistakes. And then you start going down the injury list. You're like, well, they didn't have the. We don't do that with the Chiefs. Chiefs lost Nick Bolton yesterday. They dislocated his wrist. We don't do that. Yeah, but the Chiefs don't have. Chiefs didn't have Omenihu all season. This is what happens. Omenihu. I you know those names. I'm bad at all names. I can't do names, but I do know names of franchises, and that was a nice segue. Chiefs take care of their business. The Bills simply do not, and they lay eggs. I hate that they lay eggs like this, not only every year, more often than we would really ever want to see.
Yeah, the Bills aren't the Chiefs. They're not, and they're not going to be anytime soon. You say lay eggs. Are you ever just having a good day, and you're like, I'm feeling pretty good about myself, and you're walking across your living room, and you just blast your toe into the coffee table, and you're just like, oh, I'm in the 7th circle of hell. It hurts so bad. That's what the Bills do sometimes.
Yeah.
And I quote Sean McDermott after the game yesterday, we've got to find reasons why we're stubbing our toes.
There you go.
That's what they do. And the toes all sideways and terrible. I think Jason is on it. They're terrible early in games. 24-0 over the last 3 games in the first quarter. The Bills, to me, look bored. They look bored, they look complacent, they look lackadaisical. And you see that from championship teams sometimes. Brady Patriots teams would get bored. Even Chiefs Mahomes teams occasionally will show up and just not be great. The difference is, this is not a championship team, and it never has been. I remember the Jordan Bulls would lose 3 games in a row sometimes, be like, I don't know, it's a long season, we're bored. Then they turn it on. They look bored, lackadaisical, and if they don't start the first quarter soon, they're not going to beat anybody. They're going to lose Thursday night to Tampa Bay. They will. Here's the deal. I'm hitting the panic button because we've seen this before. We never seen them start 4-3 over the last few years. That's different. I don't care if they have style points. They're not getting the wins anymore. They're usually at 5-1, maybe 5-2, not 4-3. That's a real problem. Remember, They had one terrible missed call in the end zone away from losing to the New York Giants last week. They should have been called.
Yes.
Like, they would have lost that game. They got bailed out a little bit. Then we're at 3-4, and then the sky's falling. And right now, they have to figure out how to start the game, and that goes on McDermott more than anybody.
And recently, Josh Allen has been saying, like, don't get after Stephon Diggs about his body language. He's hard on himself. We're all hard on each other. It's like, it's not just your wide receiver. It's not that entire team, the body language. When things start to go south, when they go down 10-0, 11-0, the entire bench is just subdued. Like, there's not even anger, really. They just kind of sit there and look at each other, and it's very strange, and it's not the energy that you would want from a team with some fight in it. And I don't know if it's just an odd change defensively with Leslie Frazier not being there this year, or the injuries or whatnot, but there's a little bit more woe is me than I kind of want to see from a team that you expect more from.
I think Matt Milano was the third most important person on the whole team. Allen, Diggs, Milano. He's gone, but we don't make excuses. You lose, a lot of teams lose guys.
There's question marks with Ken Dorsey and his offense. It seems like
No
it's
doubt.
all Josh Allen. How can we get some more going?